comes in through the nostrils. Soft belly changing shapes, chest expanding in all directions, front, back, side to side, up and down, fullness of breath in the body. And then notice the breath as it flows out. Chest falls, navel draws back towards spine, emptiness, and then the intention to breathe in again. And so let's just sit together for a minute and really connect with our own breath. And then bring your hands together, palms together in Anjali Mudra, and bring the base of the thumbs towards the sternum, the breastbone. And again, connect with your breath. And as you do so, allow awareness to move towards the heart center, to that place where your hands connect to the heart. And then notice the thinking mind, the wandering mind, the judging mind. And invite those qualities of mind to drop down into the heart. Simply breathing and connecting to the seat of wisdom in your body. And then invite an intention for your practice this evening. Simply notice what arises. The wisdom in your heart knows what you need in your practice tonight. So go ahead and set that intention. And then when you're ready, just go ahead and release the hands. Allow the eyes to open, perhaps softly. It's okay to practice yoga with halfway open eyes. And so that the intention is truly to be present in both worlds at the same time, the inner world and the outer world. So let's go ahead and extend your legs out in front, and we're gonna go through the joint spring series this evening to start. So legs extended, inhale and point the feet, and then exhale and flex. Inhale and point, exhale and flex. Inhale and point, exhale and flex. Inhale and point, exhale and flex. And then bring the edges of the feet together. Inhale and open the book of the feet, exhale and close. Inhale and open, exhale and close. Inhale and open, exhale and close. Inhale and open, exhale and close. Inhale and open. And then step the feet wide apart and begin to do big circles, circling as completely, as fully with the ankles as you can. And so the rest of your body is stable and still, and only the feet and the ankle joint is moving. And then take it in the other direction. Notice how your legs want to move quite a bit to provide an appearance that there's actually mobility in your ankle joint. It's common, that's human nature, but the practice is stability in the legs, movement in the feet. And so go ahead and bring that to stillness, and then we're going to move on up into the knees. And so one leg at a time, repetitions, bending the right knee, pressing the chest to the, pressing the thigh to the chest. Inhale and straighten. Exhale and bend. Inhale and straighten. And so take it to your own limit of strength, stability, and flexibility. So the idea is that the movement is coming from the hip joint and the knee joint, and the rest of the body is providing stability and strength. And so breathing smoothly and evenly, and then bring that to stillness and go on to the other leg. So exhale, pressing, inhale and straighten. Exhale and press, inhale and straighten. Exhale and press, inhale and straighten. Exhale and press, inhale and straighten. Exhale and press. So inhale and straighten. And now we're going to explore the hip joint. I have to move those blocks out of the way because my feet will hit them. So the hips are amazing, the hip joint. And it is, as strong as it is vulnerable. And so if you have had surgery, just really pay attention to the guidance that your physician has given you and the guidance that comes from deep within your own knowing. So what happens here is we externally rotate at the hip joint and then we open, okay, or abduct. And then we internally rotate and close or adduct. So inhale, open, exhale and close. Inhale and 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 open, exhale and close. And then bring that to stillness and we'll move on to the other side. So inhale, open, exhale, close. Remember, we are externally rotating and abducting, and then internally rotating and abducting. Okay. Opening, closing, open, close. And then go ahead and bring that to stillness and move up onto your blanket. So press the knees together and flatten the tops of the feet onto the floor. We're going to exhale, take the hips to the right, inhale back to center. Exhale to the left, inhale center. Continue to move through this pattern, paying attention to the safety of your wrists, connecting the palms to the shoulder blades, engaging core so that the foundation is strong and stable. And the movement comes from the hips themselves. The knees are firmly pressing into the earth, as are the tops of the feet. Just breathing and noticing. Now, when you've done the same number of repetitions on each side, go ahead and set the knees apart. Inhale and sway, and exhale and round. Inhale and sway, 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 exhale and round. Now go ahead and bring the spine to a neutral position. You can curl the toes under for a little bit better base of support. Shift the weight to the left leg, extend the right leg behind you. Try to keep the hips even. You can point the toe, inhale, lift, lengthen the spine, lift the crown of the head to the sky, press the chest forward, open, heart, and then round. Inhale, lift, lengthen, opening the front body. And then exhale, rounding, open the back body. Breathing and noticing. Notice the stretch all the way from the tips of the toes to the crown of your head, keeping the arms stable, the wrists comfortable. And then go ahead and bring that to stillness and change to the other side. Shifting weight to the right foot, extend that left leg, point the toes. Inhale, lift, lengthen, open the heart, lift through the crown of the head. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift and lengthen, exhale and round. Inhale, lift, lengthen, exhale, round. Inhale, lift, lengthen, exhale, round. Inhale, lift, lengthen, exhale, round. And then go ahead and bring that to stillness and come back to a seated position. Going back to the center of this series, which is the spine. So sit up nice and tall, really press into your sits bones, and then laterally stretch to the right. Inhale back to center, laterally stretch to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. And then bring that to stillness, and we're going to move into a twist. So take the left hand to the right knee, right hand behind you, sit up nice and tall, lift, lengthen, and twist. With the twist coming from the level of the waist, it's as if you're gonna stretch your chest towards the side wall, your right shoulder behind you. And then back to center, inhale, lift and lengthen, right hand to the left knee, left hand behind you, using that to frame your structure, twisting from the waist around to the left. Inhale, center, exhale, right. Inhale, center, exhale, left. Inhale, center, exhale, right. Inhale, center, exhale, left. Inhale, center, exhale, right. Inhale, center, exhale, left. And then bring that to stillness. And then once again, we're gonna round and sway. So I like to really connect the hands or the wrists to the knees and really frame myself so that I can inhale, tilting that pelvis anteriorly, lifting with the heart, lifting through the head, and creating as much as a back bend or an arching in the back body as I possibly can, which is not very much, and that's okay. And then exhale, round. So you're reaching the waist behind you, tucking the chin to the chest, tilting the pelvis posteriorly, tilting it behind you. And then inhale, lift and lengthen, tilting the pelvis forward, lifting up through the crown of the head, lengthening the whole spine, and then exhale and round. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale and round. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale and round. Inhale, lift and lengthen. And so just bringing that to stillness, and then we can move up into a standing position. And so find mountain, notice feet, hip bone width apart, shins in, thighs spiraling out. Engage the buttocks so that the pelvis is a perfect bowl. Squeeze the shoulder blades together on the back to compensate for our tendency to round forward. Lift up through the crown of the head, engage the fingers. And we're going to inhale, raise the arms, exhale and lower. Inhale and raise. 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 Exhale, lower. And then bring the arms to shoulder level, turn the palms up. Exhale, bend, only the elbows. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. 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 And then inhale and open. So you're really squeezing the shoulder blades together on the back. Fingertips are touching the shoulders. And you're pressing the elbows behind you as you really open across the front of the chest. And then exhale and close, opening the back body. Feel those shoulder blades sliding apart from one another on the ribs. Inhale and open. Exhale and close. Inhale and open. Exhale and close. Inhale and open. Exhale and close. Inhale and open. And then maintain it here so that the shoulders are in a neutral alignment and the arms are making goalposts. So really engage everything. What we're going to do next is difficult. And so breathing and noticing, maintaining this form. It's great if you're in a place where you can see yourself in a mirror, because then you can make sure as you rotate the arms down that you don't go any farther than you can go, maintaining your goalpost arms. And so exhaling down and inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. And then go ahead and release those arms down. Feel the warmth, feel the heaviness in your arms as your muscles begin to relax. All that holding that happens as we carry the weight of the world with our little shoulders. So roll the shoulders back. Breathe deep. And then roll the shoulders forward. And then go ahead and bring that to stillness. Notice sensation in your whole body, all the way from the soles of the feet to the crown of the head. And then we can take the right ear down to the right shoulder. Inhale back to center. Exhale, left ear, left shoulder. Inhale back to center. Exhale right. Inhale center. Exhale left. Inhale center. Exhale right. Inhale center. Exhale left. Inhale center. Bring that to stillness. Turn the head as far to the right as you can without moving another single muscle or part of your body. Only the head and the neck muscles are involved. And then inhale back to center. Exhale to the left. Inhale center. Exhale right. Inhale center. Exhale left. Inhale center. Exhale right. Inhale center. Exhale left. Inhale center, and then bring that to stillness. Inhale, lift, lengthen. Exhale, take the head back between the shoulders. Inhale back to center. Again, only the head is moving. Chin to the chest. Inhale back to center. Exhale, head back. Inhale, center. Exhale, head down. Inhale, center. Couple more times. Breathing and moving. one part of the breath to each part of the movement pattern. And then bring that to stillness. Lift, lengthen all the way from the soles of the feet to the crown of the head. Take the right ear down to the right shoulder. Inhale back to center. Take the left ear down to the left shoulder. Inhale back to center. Continue the movement pattern at your own pace, maintaining focus with the breath, allowing the breath to flow with the movement. One part of the breath to each part of the movement pattern. And then go ahead and bring that to stillness, roll the shoulders back, bring the arms out in front. And then we're gonna flex and extend at the wrist joint. So flex and extend. Flex and extend. Flex and extend. Flex and extend. And then bring that to neutral, turn the palms up. And then we're gonna take the fingers in towards each other and then out away, keeping the palms facing up to the ceiling so that you get a really good stretch laterally and medially. So the inside and the outside of the wrist joint itself. Just breathing and noticing. And then turn the palms down, make fists, and do circles. So these wrist exercises are really good for preventing carpal tunnel syndrome. So just breathe and notice, making the biggest circles with your wrist that you possibly can. And then go ahead and take it in the other direction, making circles. Alrighty, and then bring that to stillness. That is the joint freeing series, a really important series to do every day. If you can possibly remember to do it twice a day or 3 times a day is even better. So let's go ahead and if you have your blanket on your mat, go ahead and move it. We're going to do a few standing poses. So we're going to begin with chair pose. So again, mountain pose with the feet hip bone width apart. Let's take the arms out in front, really connect everything in towards the core, okay? So the feet are pulling up towards the hip joints. The hip joints are pulling in towards the spine and up towards the waist. The shoulder blades are on the back, okay? So you're really aware of those scapula connecting with the ribs on the back body, and the palms are facing down, hands active, plugging those arms into the shoulders. So your core is active and engaged. Your head is simply in alignment with the rest of your body. So feet, pelvis, chest, head, stacked, one on top of the other, okay? And then just go ahead and bend the knees. So just sit at first as if you're in a hard back chair and take your time with this so that it takes a little bit of moving into the pose and even coming out of the pose, perhaps several times, okay? So the pose itself, the asana, can be the warm-up for the asana, okay? So joint freeing's great warm-up. It's not necessary, it's just a great practice, okay? But if you're feeling like it's in the middle of the day and you really need to do chair pose, you can use chair to warm up for chair. So just breathing and noticing, and just this much. Just this much is so good for strengthening the muscles of your hips, for setting the psoas muscle in a place where it needs to be. The psoas muscle is a really, really important muscle that lives on the back body and then comes all the way around to the front body. And so an important muscle that connects the lower half of your body to the upper half of your body. And then go ahead and straighten the legs. Relax the arms, even shake them out. So I can really feel the muscular energy from that very simple pose. Now, I'm going to turn this way so you can see the orientation of my hips. We're going to approach it just a little bit differently this time. We can still take the arms out in front. You can turn the palms facing each other if you want. That's a perfectly fine orientation for your hands and your arms. And it works a little bit different muscles, okay? So then sitting, and then just go ahead and sit as deeply as you can now that these chair muscles are warmed up. And then you can actually hinge at the hips. And so hinging allows you to sit a little deeper, but pay attention to the connection between the pubic bone and the front ribs. You want to maintain the integrity there. That's your core strength, your core muscles. You want to keep the spine set in good alignment. So just breathe and notice. Breathe and notice. And then go ahead and straighten the legs and check out the arms. Okay. So now we're gonna move through the half moon series. So this includes lateral stretches, a backward bend and a forward bend. We're gonna do several repetitions. And with each repetition, I would like for you to notice your body's ability to perhaps move a little bit more deeply into the pose. So nice deep breath, finding Tadasana, mountain pose. So let's inhale, take the arms up overhead, turning the palms to face each other. So pressing into the soles of the feet, remembering all of those important points of alignment and muscular energy. So pressing into the soles of the feet, pressing the shins in, spiraling the thighs out, engaging the buttocks so that the pelvis is neutral. And the heart is open, shoulders are active on the back, connecting shoulder blades to the palms of the hands. Lift and lengthen, and then exhale, open, stretch to the right. Inhale as you're there. Exhale and notice if you can go a breath deeper. Notice if you can keep your arms in a full extension. And then inhale back to center. And then exhale, take it to the left. Breathing and noticing. Inhale, lift and lengthen, keeping the heart open, keeping the shoulder blades active on the back, keeping the arms in a full extension if you can. And then inhale back to center. All right, so now exhale, bring the hands to the heart and just check in. Check in with your feet, your legs, your pelvis, your hips, your core abdominal muscles, your heart, your rib cage, the shoulder blades, the head and the neck. So now we're gonna move into a little teensy little backward bend. So really rooting down, okay, legs are active and engaged. The buttocks is squeezed to protect the low back. And we're actually gonna lift up out of the waist and we're gonna reach back with our shoulder blades. The head follows along in alignment or chin to the chest. So if you have neck issues, if you have any weaknesses in your neck, it's fair to keep the chin tucked to the chest, even in back bends, because it doesn't put any strain on the cervical vertebrae, muscles, tendons, ligaments, and nerves, okay? If you're strong through the neck, you can just extend it as if, you know, it's a neutral back bending alignment, every piece going back the same from about the waist to the crown of the head, okay? And then go ahead and come back to center. So it was a teensy little back bend, but very powerful. So now let's put our hands on our waist. You can soften the knees if you need to, if you need a little bit more freedom for your low back and your hips. Okay, and we're gonna hinge from the hips, maintaining a neutral alignment of the spine, just as long as we can. Now, when you get to the point where you really can't go any farther with a neutral spine, if you have not yet bend your knees, go ahead and bend your knees. And notice how that helps you to sink a little bit deeper, lower abdomen moving towards your thighs, and then just let the head hang heavy and just cave over. Just let your whole body cave over, head hangs, and you're breathing. And then let's go ahead and place your hands on your hips again. With your eyes open, lengthen out once again to the neutral spine, and then come all the way up to standing. Nice deep breath. All right, so let's move through that 2 more times. We're going to do it a little bit more flowing, okay? A little bit quicker, a little bit more flowing. So inhale, stretching arms up overhead, hold on to the left wrist with the right hand, lift up, lengthen and over. And then inhale back to center, palms forward, holding on to the right wrist with the left hand, lifting up and over. Inhale up, palms facing forward. Now this time make a cradle with your hands. So interlace your fingers, set the base of your skull, your occiput, into the palms of your hands, into that cradle. Okay, so you can press gently the back of the head against the hands, press gently the hands against the head, and use that to stabilize, okay, the neck, and reach those elbows back behind you. Notice the integrity that is created through the whole upper body, through the rib cage, the shoulder blades that connect to the collarbones, that connect to the sternum, which all connect to the top of the arm bones. Okay, so breathing, lifting, and lengthening, and then that same idea of pulling the hips in towards the sacrum so that the low back is not compromised. You're lifting and you're lengthening, and you are stable and you're strong in this supported back bend. And then come back to center, extend the arms up just because it feels so good. And then bring the palms down to the heart. Hinge at the hips, hinge, hinge, hinge. Fold all the way over, head hangs. Nice deep breath. And then hands on your hips, reach out. Come all the way up. Take a breath. Release the arms. Notice sensation. 1 more repetition. Inhale, stretch up. Lift and lengthen. Exhale to the right. Inhale and lengthen. And then exhale back to center. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale to the left. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale back to center. Bring the hands down and just wrap the hands around the pelvis. So you're really going to press the hands into the pelvis. You're going to squeeze the shoulder blades together on the back. You're going to lift and lengthen, and you're going to move into the deepest yet safe backward bend that you've done so far. So just breathing, noticing, paying attention to all of the elements of the structure of your alignment. And then come back to center, hinge at the hips, fold forward. Bend the knees and sit deeply into this forward fold. The head can hang. You can maybe wrap your hands to the back of your lower legs, to your heels maybe. Okay, and just snug it up. Chest really pressing towards the thighs. Head with no tension in the neck at all. So the head is heavy. You can even tuck the chin towards the chest for a little added security. Breathing and noticing, lifting hips up to the sky, lifting head down towards the earth as you gradually lengthen muscles in the legs, so that gradually your legs are getting straighter and your hips are moving up towards the sky in tiny, tiny, tiny little nanometers, okay? Breathe and notice. And now release the hands, let the head hang heavy. And with your eyes open, roll up just one vertebra at a time. Ah, nice deep breath. Roll the shoulders back. And then roll the shoulders forward. All righty, let me do a little time check here. Okay, so we're 40 minutes in. So let's go ahead and move down to a seated position. So move down, grab your strap if you have one, and if you have a blanket, and if you have tight muscles in your low back and maybe your hamstrings, you can sit just a little bit elevated on your blanket. And then we're going to extend the legs out front. Alrighty, so just coming to the seated position, let's go ahead and bend the right knee and wrap the arms around. Okay, holding on. So we're really, again, pressing the thigh towards the chest like we did in our forward fold. So this right leg is fully flexed, where the left thigh is flexed, but the knee is extended. So breathing and noticing. Now, this is a little different than the way we often do this pose. You know, often when we get to this point, we do head to knee pose or Janu Shirshasana. So we're going to do something a little bit different today. We're still going to wrap the strap around the foot, and we're going to lift and lengthen. So really press with the foot so that the toes, the ball of the foot is pulling towards you. You're pressing with the heel, and you're having to work to keep that shin on the floor probably. It might want to just pop right up off the floor, but keep it pressing down. Lift and lengthen. Now, notice that I have my elbows bent, and I'm using the strap and the frame of my arms into my shoulder blades to really support the spine, okay, to help support the lengthening of all of the muscles on the back side of my body, all the way from my big toes, back to the legs, buttocks, through the back, all the way through the neck, up to the crown of my head. All of those muscles are getting a good stretch, a good lengthening. Now, take your hand, your arm, your right arm inside that right thigh. And then you can just, you know, we're not, you know, often we'll turn the thigh out here, but it's a really nice variation to keep the hip more at midline, okay? So there might be just a little bit of an external rotation going on there at the hip, but just pay attention, do what feels right. And then from here, we can begin to lengthen. Okay, so at this point, what we're going to do, notice how loosely I'm holding onto the strap. I've just gone from an extended spine to a flexed spine. So my spine is in a flexion now. It is rounded. This is not a safe place to exert any force or strain, but I can just hold on gently or not at all and just allow myself to round over, okay? It's nice though to have a boundary, even a boundary we're not working against. We don't need to to push up against this boundary. We just need to be aware that this boundary is here. Hands on floor, that is the boundary. Now, if I wanted to work a little deeper, I could use the boundary. Maybe the boundary is going to be my strap. Maybe the boundary is going to be my foot. And I'm going to round more deeply, okay, without force, without strain, but with a boundary and with gravity. So breathe and notice, head hangs, just breathing and moving more deeply into the experience, okay? Maybe not moving at all in your physical body. Maybe your physical body is just not going to go anywhere but where it is, and that is fine, okay? So that's acceptance, just breathing and noticing. And then when you're ready to come out of it, grab a hold of your strap again. Find that neutral spine, okay, the spine that is in alignment, finding mountain for the spine right here in this weird place, and then come all the way up from there. Ooh-wee, I'm feeling that. Extend the leg out, and then just rock. Rock a little bit from side to side, just noticing sensation in your body. Alrighty. So now the other leg. So bend the left knee, placing that foot just as close to the pelvis as you can without losing your form. So you're still able to press here, you're still able to flex there, you're still able to press this leg down, you're still able to sit up nice and tall with both sits bones connecting with the earth. Okay, find your strap. Just hold on, lift and lengthen. Really paying attention, maybe consciously pressing that leg down to the earth. So rooting to rise, really pressing that leg down, sitting up nice and tall. Now, to be able to get any real hinging action, we have to get the arm out of the way. Get the leg out of the way a little bit. So we take the arm to the inside, and then once again we can power down, which helps us to power up. So rooting down and finding a lot of muscular energy. So you're just lifting up through the spine and then begin to hinge. Notice if with a neutral alignment, not flexing the spine yet, you're just hinging and moving forward and breathing. No force, no strain once you allow the spine to flex. So just rounding over now. We're leaving the land of the neutral spine and we are rounding over. We're approaching a place of vulnerability. So in this place of vulnerability, we are aware of our boundaries. You know, if we're feeling vulnerable, then it doesn't really make sense to push around the edges or to try to push the boundary away because we need it. It serves a purpose. So just pressing the hands to the ground, breathing, noticing. And then when you're ready, grabbing hold of your strap, coming back to the neutral place, and then come all the way up from there. Extend the leg. And then again, just rock from side to side. Alrighty, so we'll finish up our seated poses with a spinal twist. So let's go ahead and just bring that right foot up again, okay, where we were for the forward fold. We're going to wrap the arms around, we're going to flex with the foot, and we're going to really notice sensation. You know, we worked actually pretty hard. with the big muscles of the thighs and the buttocks and the low back. Okay, we've worked to warm up and strengthen the upper body as well. So all of that will come into play as we move into this very stable and lovely spinal twist. So wrap the left arm around the right leg, take the right arm out in front of you. Okay, so sitting up nice and tall, really finding that lifted, lengthened, neutral spine. Reach with that left foot as you look behind you. You're going to look behind you as far as you can see, and then you're going to invite the hand to follow the gaze. Notice how far you go when you do it that way, and then set the hand down behind you. So using the hand without crunching the wrist to provide some support and stability for your spine. So left leg reaching, right shoulder reaching in opposite directions. Sits bones even, okay, hips firmly and evenly planted on each side, and you lift up out of there, twisting from about the level of the waist as you reach that right shoulder towards you and the left chest towards the right knee. Breathe and notice. Breathe and notice where you're allowing tension to creep into the pose for where you're trying to go with it. Okay, so when that happens, when you stop breathing and you start feeling tense, just stop trying to go farther and notice your breath. Just notice the breath. And notice how everything sets itself in a better way, a better place. And then go ahead and come all the way back around. Extend the right leg. Notice the difference from side to side. I feel it all the way up into here in a good way. And now I want to get that same massage for the other side. So bend the left knee, press the foot close. As close as it is stable, Sphira, stable, and comfortable, Sukha. So breathing, noticing, really reaching with that right foot, pressing both sits bones down, lifting up, lengthening. And then take that left arm out in front. Okay, so holding on, pulling that thigh towards the belly, okay, and then take that hand around, actually gazing behind you first, turning the gaze as far behind you as it will go, and continue to invite that arm, okay, hand connected to the elbow, connected to the shoulder joint, to reach just as far around as your gaze, and then set the hand down. Nice deep breath. So using all of the roots of this pose, okay, that right leg, both sits bones, the left hand without crunching the wrist. Breathing, lifting up, lengthening, right foot lifting and, well, not lifting, right foot reaching, and the left shoulder reaching behind you. So shoulder and foot reaching in opposite directions, bringing you more deeply into this lovely twist. So good for your spine, for your discs in between each vertebrae. So good also for internal organs and reducing toxins in your body. Really good for flushing out the kidneys. This pose is. All of the twists are good for detox. And then go ahead and release. Come all the way around and extend the leg out. Okie dokie. So, we have about 10 more minutes. And I think what I'd like to do, there's so many things that we could still do, but in just 10 minutes, we are going to we're going to take our time to move into a supported back bend. And then from there, we'll move into our relaxation. So have a block. When we first move into bridge, okay, we're going to put the block in this orientation right underneath our sacrum, okay, that heart-shaped bone that makes the back part of the pelvis. Once you're comfortable, if you want to flip it up to the next level, you may, okay, and then and then we're going to flip it back down to here, and then we're going to remove it all together and then come down. But we're going to stay in bridge pose for probably 5 minutes, okay? It's a great practice. It's actually an inversion because, you know, like you think, well, I don't know if you do, but some people think of inversions like handstands and shoulder stands and those, you know, dramatic poses where you get the feet all the way up into the sky. But it's not necessary. You can get a lot of benefit by just elevating the pelvis. The pelvis holds about 3 liters of blood. So if you can elevate your pelvis over the level of your heart, you get all the benefits, the circulatory benefits of an inversion. So let's go ahead and lay down on our backs with our block handy. So, I'm going to move my clock so that perhaps I can see it from my bridge pose. Alrighty, so go ahead and have your block handy, but set yourself in bridge. So remember, for bridge or Setu Bandhasana, you want to set yourself so that the feet are as close to the hips as they can safely and comfortably be. So your knees do not feel strained, and you set it up so that your hip bones, your knees, and your feet are all tracking in alignment, okay? And that the feet are not turned out, the feet are not turned in, but they're square forward just as if we're in Tadasana. So press into your feet. Press your sacrum down onto the ground so that you can feel the whole bone, okay, that whole flat bone of the sacrum connecting with the earth, okay? So that's gonna maintain your lumbar curve, which is just actually a little curve, okay? And then really press your shoulders down to the earth, okay? Massage your ears, okay, just really your earlobes, your whole earlobes. Just massage them rather vigorously. So you're folding them in towards themselves, and then you're just rubbing, maybe even with your fingers, rubbing the pinna, the cartilage of your ears. That helps your whole body to relax, actually, okay. And then notice the back of the head connecting with the earth, and think of pressing the eyeballs down to the floor. That's going to help keep your neck in neutral alignment. Alrighty, so you can press your hands down at your sides, and then using the muscles of your legs and your hips and your core, just go ahead and lift. Go ahead and lift into a bridge pose. Okay, so it's nice, it's stable, it's strong. You go ahead and just lift, maintaining that neutral spine. So you're not trying to get rid of the sway in the back or the lumbar curve. You're not hollowing out your core. Okay, you're just lifting your hips, and then go ahead and reach that block and just set it right underneath your sacrum, and then allow the sacral bone to rest down on that block. Now, breathe and notice. If you feel pretty comfortable here, you can set your hands behind your head, elbows up, and just tuck the chin to the chest, lifting the head just to release and relax the muscles in the back of the neck. And then release and allow the head, the occiput, the base of the skull, to connect to the earth. Allow the eyeballs to press down, and so that once again you have that neutral curve in the neck that mirrors the lumbar curve. Okay, they both curve in the same direction, opposite of the sacral curve and the thoracic curve. The wonders, the amazing human spine. Breathe and notice. And with each exhalation, just release a little deeper, just a little bit deeper. Just breathing and noticing. Always feeling that you have the permission, which you do, to make any little adjustments or any little micro movements you need in this pose, in any pose really, to make it your own, to give yourself what you need. Now, if you feel like you want to, okay, so if you're not strained by having your pelvis up this high, what you can do is to lift a little bit higher. Now, I lifted up onto my toes. It's probably not necessary from here. Okay, you can press into the feet and lift the hips a little bit higher. Okay, but if you can't lift high enough to get the block one turn higher and you want to, one remedy is by pressing up into your toes with the weight on the great toe, okay? The great toe, the big toe. And then you can flip the block so that it's a wee bit higher. So you get just a little bit more of a backward bend. It's actually a lot more. You know, it's not that big of a difference in the size of the block, but it translates into a significant difference in height for your pelvis. So once again, just equilibrating to this new height, this little bit different pose. And then also notice how the block feels. So you know it's not as wide now, it's a little bit narrower. So take a moment to really connect the sacrum with the block and find that particular place that creates the most support and the most comfort. Notice how it changes a little bit, the connection of the shoulder blades with the earth. Okay, they're lifted a little bit higher, maybe not completely pressing flat onto the shoulder blades anymore. Still be careful to maintain the curve in the neck, so you're not flattening out the cervical curve. You're still pressing the base of the skull into the earth. You're pressing the eyeballs down to the earth. And the arms can be relaxed, or if you feel like you need the support that the arms could provide, then you can press the palms down. Okay, so it can be supported with the arms. Another way to support the pose with your arms in your frame of the upper body is to bend the elbows, okay, make robot arms, just like we have those arms bent in the forward folding that we do. And you can press the backs of the arms and the elbows down as you press the palms towards each other, generating a current of energy to help hold you more supported in this bridge pose, in this backward bending pose. All right, so it is time for Savasana. So go ahead and release the block and slowly set your sacrum down. Okay, don't set the low back down, but set the sacrum down, maintaining that cervical curve. And then just extend the legs out. And then extend the arms out. And just notice how your body feels. Allow your breath to be full and complete. Breath flowing in through the nostrils, soft belly changing shapes Chest expanding in all directions, front, back, side to side, up and down, fullness of breath in the body. And then allow the breath to flow out. Chest falls, navel draws back towards spine, emptiness. And then the intention to breathe in again. Simply following the breath with your awareness. With each inhalation, allowing more room in your body, more space. And then with each exhalation, let go of any tension or any tightness. And simply rest here, focusing on your breath, allowing your body to let go, relaxing deeply in Savasana. And so thank you both very much for joining me this evening for our practice together. And it is with gratitude that I express this practice and the wisdom of yoga. Namaste.